Good morning, students. Today I am going to start one of the important topic of the chapter, that is higher order ordinary differential equations. So in the previous classes we have seen the solving method of first order differential equation, and now we will study the higher order ordinary differential equation and how to solve the higher order ordinary differential equations. Okay. So before entering into that, first we one by one discuss about the definitions. So let us start with the ordinary differential equation. So I think this definition you know very well. What is the ordinary differential equation? What do you mean by it? So ordinary differential equation means it is a differential equation involving only the ordinary derivatives. The equation which involve only one independent variable and differential coefficients with respect to it. Or you can say like this also, the differential equation which involve only one independent variable and one or more dependent variables with respect to that single independent variable. This is about the ordinary differential equation. So after defining this ordinary differential equation, coming to the order. So order is indicating that the highest derivative in the given differential equation. So if it's of the first highest derivative, you call it as a first order. So more than first order, you can say that is higher order. So higher order ordinary differential equation is nothing but it is the ordinary differential equation involving higher order derivatives. So any ordinary differential equation involving higher order, higher means more than one derivatives, higher order derivatives, you simply call it as a higher order differential equation. So next, coming to the linear differential equation with the constant coefficient. So in this linear differential equation with the constant coefficient, now what do you mean by linear? What is linear? The degree of the derivative and degree of the dependent variable is exactly 1. You can say it as a linear differential equation. The derivative degree should be 1 and dependent variable degree should be always 1. And no product of a dependent variable and derivative is occurs in the that given differential equation. So linear anta bandaga niಮಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ನೆನಪಾಗಬೇಕು, that is degree is always 1. Degree of the dependent variable and derivative degree should be 1, that is linear. So higher order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. So higher order linear. So in spite of writing first degree, he wrote linear. So you have to understand by yourself. Linear means first degree. Higher order first degree differential equation with constant coefficients. So what is constant coefficient? What are the constant coefficients? Suppose A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Alpha, beta, gamma. These are all considered as a constants. The constant functions appears as a coefficient of a derivative. The constant functions appears as a derivative as a coefficient of a derivative, that is constant function, constant coefficient. So you can see the two forms of the differential equations, that is one is a differential equation with the constant coefficient, another one is a differential equation with the variable coefficient. So about this variable coefficient, you have one complete chapter, there we will study that variable coefficient. So in this particular chapter, we will see only the differential equations with the constant coefficients. Okay, so higher order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. So the general representation of a higher order ordinary differential equation, we can denoting like this. So it's a nth order derivative. So I just write here the general form of the higher order ordinary differential equation, that is d to the power n into y over dx to the power n. So it is a nth order differential equation, or you can say nth order derivative. D to the power n into y over dxn, it's the nth order derivative, plus some constant a1, it is dn minus 1 into y over dx n minus 1. It is the n minus 1th derivative, plus some constant a2 dn minus 2 into y over dx n minus 2, plus and so on. So I can write plus an into y is equals to some constant term q. So this is the general representation of a higher order ordinary differential equation. So that you can denote with this symbol. So now here a1, a2 and so on an are nothing but the constant values. a1, a2, a3 and so on an are the constants, and q is any function of a x variable. It may be any constant or a function of a x variable. So by using this notation, I just converting into a new symbol, and that symbol we just denoting it by capital D. So capital D stands for a d by dx. Capital D is nothing but d by dx. So in the place of a d by dx, we just replace by capital D in the given differential equation, in the higher order differential equation. Okay, so D is generally said to be differential operator. D is nothing but differential operator. D stands for differential operator. D is the differential operator. So once you introduce capital D, now what is D square stands for? D square stands for d square over dx square. Now similarly for d to the power n, d to the power n stands for dn over dx power n. So by using these particular symbols, the same higher order ordinary differential equation that you can write in this form, just substitute these notations in the equation, higher order equation, then you will get. So we know that d by dx, what is d by dx is capital D. So power is n, it's a nth order derivative, power is n, dn into y, plus some constant a1 as it is d to the power of n minus 1 into y, plus a2, that is constant term, into d to the power of n minus 2 into y, plus and so on, plus, so I will write an into y is equals to some function of a x variable, that is q. Okay, so just replace in the place of a d by dx, you just introduce the capital D in the higher order ordinary differential equation, you will get this complete expression. So now if I take completely y as a common in the LHS side, you will get d to the power n plus some a1 into d to the power of n minus 1 plus a2 into d to the power of n minus 2 plus and so on, plus an into, that is y is the common term in the LHS, is equals to q. So this entire expression, yes, sorry. an into y is equals to q. So this entire expression I am just denoting it with the some f of d, that is f of d into y as it is equals to q, where f of d stands for this complete expression. So this representation, you call it as a symbolic representation of a higher order differential equation. F of d into y is equals to q, you call it as a symbolic expression of the given differential equation, where f of d stands for this complete expression. So whenever the higher order ordinary differential equation is given, so first you have to introduce the d symbol by just substituting d, capital D, in the place of a d by dx, and which is nothing but a differential operator. Using that, you are converting into the symbolic form, that is f of d into y is equals to q. Okay, so once you get the particular symbolic form, in order to get the complete solution of a higher order differential equation, the complete solution you can just write with the y. So y is nothing but it's the combination of a yc plus yp. It's the combination of a yc plus yp here, where yc is nothing but, so it's simply denoted by c into f also. It's denoted by cf, which is nothing but complementary function, which stands for complementary function. Okay, so see the next one, this is yp. So yp is nothing but it's simply denoting by, it's simply denoted by p into I. So pi is nothing but particular integral. Pi stands for particular integral. So y is the combination of a complementary function and the particular integral. So in order to get the complete solution of a higher order ordinary differential equation, it is the combination of a cf and ti, complementary function and particular integral. So in order to get the complete solution, directly you calculate yc and yp. In order to get the yc, the given higher order differential equation, we have one method, and to find out yp of a given higher order differential equation, you have certain methods as per your syllabus. So once you get these two, yc and yp, you can directly get the complete solution of the higher order ordinary differential equation. So how to calculate this yc function of the given higher order differential equation? So before going to that, so it's a mandatory condition is that the given higher order differential equation, first you are representing in the symbolic form, that is f of d into y is equals to q. So after that, only you are able to calculate yc and yp, that is complementary function and particular integral of the given equation. So now let us see how to calculate yc. So afterwards we will see how to find the solution of a particular integral. So see, so complementary function of a higher order ordinary differential equation. So we have the certain steps for this complementary function. So here you are calculating the only one part of your solution, it is yc, which is simply denoted by yc, complementary function. This is the only one part of solution. So combination of these two only you can call it as a complete solution of the equation. Complementary function plus particular integral, that is the complete solution. So here we are calculating only one part of the your solution, that is complementary function, which is simply denoted by yc. So I just give you the procedure. This is one of the important procedure. So later on, throughout this entire topic, you have to calculate the complementary functions for each and every problem. So you just remember this procedure. See the first step. Represent the given differential equation in the symbolic form. That means f of d into y is equals to q. So here you are representing the given differential equation in the symbolic form. That means we have to introduce capital D in the given differential equation is equals to some constant, or it may be the function of x variable. So just write wherever d by dx is there, we have to replace it by capital D. That is the symbolic representation of the equation. So after that, find the auxiliary equation, which is simply denoted by a into e by f of m is equals to 0. So how to get f of m? So in your f of d, d is replaced by m. F of m is equating to 0. Is equated to 0. Auxiliary equation means just replace m in the place of a d, and it is equating to 0. This one is important because to find the complementary function and particular integral, it's completely depending upon the right hand side values of the equation. If right hand side value is 0, then only you can calculate the complete complementary function. So to calculate particular integral, we will discuss in the next class. So to find the complementary function, right hand side value should be 0. So find the auxiliary equation just by replacing m in the place of d and equating it to 0. You will get the auxiliary equation. That is, you can say the equation is in the form of a auxiliary equation. This is the second step. See the third step. Find the roots of the auxiliary equation. So I just supposing the roots are m1, m2 and so on mn. So using this auxiliary equation, find the roots of the equation. So you can have the roots like you can have the roots in the three cases. That is, one of the root is real and distinct. In the second case, when the roots are real and imaginary, and the third case is when the roots are real and repeated. So you will have the three cases while finding the complementary function. The roots may be real and distinct, roots may be real and imaginary, roots may be real and repeated roots. So you will see one by one. So first case is when the roots are real and distinct. So I just take the case number 1. Suppose if all the roots are real and distinct. So what do you mean by distinct here? Meaning of distinct. Distinct means different. Roots are real and different. Then you can calculate YC, that is complementary function. It is C1 into e to the power of first root. M1 means the first root which you got. First root into x plus C2 e to the power of second root into x plus and so on plus Cn e to the power of nth root into x. So this is the general, or you can say the required solution which you have to write in this form of the equation. The solution you have to write in this form when the roots are real and distinct. So this is the direct solution for given higher order ordinary differential equation, complementary function CF, that is YC. YC is equals to C1 e to the power of first root into x plus c2 e to the power of second root into x plus and so on. This is one. The roots are real and distinct. See the second case. When you get the roots are real and equal, then the rest all are distinct. So what do you mean by it? Suppose assume that you got the three roots. Okay. Suppose you got the three roots, and out of these three roots, all are real and two of them are repeating and one is not repeating. How to write the final solution of the equation? How to write the required solution? When you get the three roots and all the three are real and two of them are repeating and one is not repeating, that time, so c1 plus c2 into x e to the power of m, that means that repeated root you have to write here. c1 plus c2 into x e to the power of repeated root into x plus c3 e to the power of, write the remaining roots which are not repeating, m3, that is not repeating root into x plus c4 e to the power of, if you got 4 roots, then write in the place of m4 into x plus and so on, cn e to the power of nth root into x. This is when roots are real and repeating. Suppose assume that you got the 4 roots and all the 4 roots are real. So out of these, 3 roots are repeating and one is not repeating. How to write the solution? So complementary function is equals to 3 are repeating, that means c1 plus c2 into x plus c3 into x square into e to the power of that repeating root into x plus c4 e to the power of the root which is not repeating, that is m4 into x plus and so on. This is the writing method of solution when the roots are real and repeating. This is the second case. See the third case. So the third case is if two roots, that is m1 and m2, are complex, and so what is complex number? So complex number you can write like a plus ib. You can take as a plus ib, where a is the real part and b is nothing but the imaginary part. If these two roots are complex and rest all are real and distinct. Two roots are complex and remaining all are real and distinct. Then how to write the complementary function? It is c1 cos b into x. So b stands for imaginary part. That is imaginary part into x plus c2 sin imaginary part. B is nothing but imaginary part into x into e to the power of a into x. A stands for that real part. A into x plus c3, write the remaining roots which you got. c3 e to the power of m3, that is fourth root into x, or you can say the root which is not repeating into x plus and so on, cn e to the power of nth root into x. So this is when the roots are real and complex. So this is the third case when the roots are real and complex, to writing the solution of the that given equation. So these three cases are important, so you please remember these cases. So directly we will get yc, that is complementary function corresponding to this higher order ordinary differential equation. So please remember these cases. In the first case, so first case nalli, when you got the roots like real and distinct, real and different roots, you have to write the solution in this form. If the roots are real and repeated, you have to write the solution in this form. And the third case is about when the roots are real and imaginary, or real and complex roots. So these cases are important. So let's see the problem. So in this procedure, first we have to write the given differential equation in the symbolic form. Just introduce capital D in the given differential equation. That is the first step. Write the given differential equation in the symbolic form. So in the second step, find the auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation means just replace m in the place of a d in that symbolic form. That is the auxiliary equation which is equating to 0. So in the third step, find the roots of the auxiliary equation. So I am assuming, suppose roots are m1, m2 and so on mn. So you can have the three cases in that roots. One is a real and repeated, another one is a real and distinct, and the third case is real and complex. So let us see the problems. Solve d square y by dx square minus 3 dy by dx minus 4 into y is equals to 0. So this is one of the ordinary differential equation, right? So what is the order of the differential equation? The highest derivative is 2, right? So order is 2. Now what is the degree of the differential equation? Degree is 1, the power of the highest derivative. So for this higher order differential equation, we need to calculate the solution. So before entering into that, so the same given differential equation you are writing in the symbolic form first. Write the symbolic form, then find the auxiliary equation. You will get the roots of the equation, observe the roots, and write the required solution of the equation. Okay. So see the first example. First example is solve d square y by dx square minus 3 dy by dx minus 4 into y is equals to 0. This is the given differential equation. Given differential equation is this one. So first we have to write in the symbolic form. That is symbolic representation. Symbolic representation of the given differential equation. So we know that capital D represents d by dx. So substitute in the given equation. This is a second order derivative, so it will become d square minus 3d minus 4 into y is equals to 0. This is the symbolic representation. So after that, we have to write the auxiliary equation. That is, auxiliary equation is just we have to replace m in the place of a. So we have to replace m in the place of a d. That is m square minus 3m minus 4 is equals to 0. So now it's the quadratic form. We have to find the factors of this expression. So we can factorize this one. So multiplication should be minus 4 and the sum should be minus 3. So now what are the factors? M square minus 4 into m plus m minus 4 is equals to 0. So if I take m as a common in the first and second terms, we will get m minus 4 plus take 1 as a common term. Remaining terms are m minus 4 is equals to 0. Now the product of two terms, that is m minus 4 into m plus 1 is equals to 0. So m is equals to minus 1 and plus 4 are the roots of the equation. So if you observe the roots, so what kind of a roots are these? which case it is satisfying. So these roots are real and distinct. Roots are real but different roots. So it is satisfying the first case. When the roots are real and distinct, how to write the required solution? That is y is equals to yc complementary function is equals to c1 e to the power of m1 into x, first root into x, plus c2 e to the power of m2 into x. So this one is m1 and it is m2. So right here c1 e to the power of minus 1 into x plus c2 e to the power of 4 into x. So this is the required solution of the complementary function. So this is our required solution of the given differential equation. Just find the symbolic representation and after that write the auxiliary equation, find the roots of the equation, observe the roots, which condition it is satisfying, and write the final solution of the equation. Okay. See the next example. Solve d square y by dx square. So this is also satisfies the first condition. D square y by dx square minus 13 dy by dx plus 12 into y is equals to 0. The given differential equation is this one, and write the equation in the symbolic form. The symbolic representation of the equation is d square minus 13 as it is d plus 12 y is equals to 0. So for our auxiliary equation, we have to just replace m in the place of a d, m square minus 13m plus 12 is equals to 0. So this is also in the quadratic equation. So we have to find the factors of the equation. Factorize this one. So sum should be minus 13 and multiplication is plus 12. So you will get the factors like m square minus 12m minus m plus 12 is equals to 0. Take m as a common term. Remaining terms are m minus 12. Here take minus 1 as a common into m minus 12 is equals to 0. So product of the two terms m minus 12 into m minus 1 is equals to 0. So roots are plus 12 and plus 1. So these two are real and distinct, real and different. So required general solution can be written as a c1 e to the power of first root. You can write in this one or else this one. c1 e to the power of 1x plus c2 e to the power of 12x. This is the required general solution of the equation. Okay. So see the next example. Solve. This is also same kind of example. D square y by dx square plus 3 dy by dx plus 2y is equals to 0. Write the given differential equation. The symbolic representation d square plus 3d plus 2 into y is equals to 0. So write the auxiliary equation, that is m square plus 3m plus 2 is equals to 0. Factorize this one. You will get the factors like m plus 2 into m plus 1 is equals to 0. So roots are minus 1 and minus 2. So these two also real and distinct. Write the general solution, that is y is equals to c1 e to the power of first root, that is minus 1 into x plus c2 e to the power of minus 2 into x. So this is about the first case when the roots are real and distinct. See the last example on this first case method. Solve d square y by dx square minus 7 dy by dx plus 12 into y is equals to 0. Write the symbolic representation and find the auxiliary equation, that is m square minus 7m plus 12 is equals to 0. Factorize this one, we will get m square minus 4m minus 3m plus 12 is equals to 0. Take m as a common term, remaining terms are m minus 4, and in these two terms take so 1 as a common, you will get the roots like 3 and 4. So write the required solution like c1 e to the power of first root into x plus c2 e to the power of 4 into x. So this is about the first case when the roots are real and distinct. Okay. So any doubt in this first case when the roots are real and different? So the second case, which is when the roots are real and repeated. How to write the required solution when the roots are real and repeated? This one I will continue in the next class. Okay.